This is the Westinghouse iGen5000 portable inverter generator. From the moment you see it, this is a pretty beefy machine, but it still manages to look modern and compact. The blue casing really stands out, and everything is laid out in a way that makes you feel like this was actually designed for real, everyday people who might not want to mess around with complicated gadgets. Even though it's got a little weight to it, coming up at just about 119 pounds, it's got these built-in handles and wheels that actually make it possible for someone like me, and I wouldn't call myself a bodybuilder, to move it around the yard or even load it into the back of the truck. So, off the bat, the portability isn't as intimidating as I thought it might be. Just reading that weight number online, getting this thing ready was honestly something I felt a bit anxious about. I always worry about whether there's some little mistake I'll make and ruin a brand new generator. But one thing I'll say is that the instructions included with the iGen5000 are super clear, and Westinghouse actually sends you engine oil and a threaded funnel right in the box, so you don't end up spilling oil all over the place. The oil cap and funnel both screw on, which is a small thing, but makes the first setup so much cleaner and less stressful. That's honestly something you'll appreciate, especially if this is your first go at dealing with a portable generator. While working through setup, I noticed the battery comes disconnected. For anyone who's not used to that, basically the generator ships with the battery out for safety. All you need to do is connect the battery leads, which is just a simple plug-and-play connection. Nothing to stress about unless you're brand new to these devices. After the battery's connected, you just add gas to the generator's 3.4-gallon tank and use the easy fuel switch to turn it on. The whole starting process is super smooth. I tried the remote start, which is this neat key fob that works like a car remote, and it worked nicely after the battery actually had a chance to charge. The other thing I really like here is the electric push-button start. I can't overstate how much easier this makes it, especially for my wife and I. No more yanking on a pull starter cord and wearing out your shoulder. Of course, just in case, you still have a traditional recoil start option as a backup. One time, after not using the unit for a while, I noticed the battery had run low and the remote didn't kick the generator on, but the recoil backup worked on the first try. It's good peace of mind knowing you won't just be stranded if something simple goes wrong. Key features that matter for typical use. With 5,000 peak watts, 3,900 running watts, and a 30-amp RV-ready outlet, this generator is ready for just about anything I need for home backup or camping. I run a small RV air conditioner, lights, phone chargers, and a fridge, and the generator doesn't even break a sweat. The pure sine wave inverter setup here is a big deal. This means the electricity coming out is as stable as what you get from the power company, so I feel totally comfortable running my sensitive electronics, laptops, phones, TVs, without worrying about damage. If you aren't familiar with this, a lot of standard generators don't filter their output, and that can short out or wear out, say, a computer or a modern TV. Noise was one of my biggest concerns before buying, because I plan to use this near other campers and at home without annoying my neighbors. But once the iGen5000's running, I can say it's genuinely quiet. Officially, it's rated at about 52 decibels, about as loud as a normal conversation. When I step back a few feet, the hum drops off quick and I can barely notice it. For me, this is a huge plus, since I hate that constant roar you get from typical generators. The unit also has eco mode, which varies the engine speed depending on the load, saving gas and cutting down the noise even more. On the fuel efficiency side, I get why Westinghouse talks up its variable engine speeds. I filled the tank up, which holds 3.4 gallons, and I got close to 18 hours of runtime on a light to moderate load, like running lights, charging phones, or keeping the RV fridge going. That means I don't have to wake up in the middle of the night for a top-up if I'm camping or stressing about fuel during a power outage. Just keep in mind, runtime changes a lot depending on how much you're drawing from the unit. The real-time LED data center tells me exactly how long I've got left, what the load is, the fuel level, and even the voltage output, which makes managing my power use so much simpler. Another thing I think new users will appreciate, the simple, clear layout of the outlets and controls. I don't have to guess what does what. There's a 30-amp outlet for the RV hookup, 2 standard 120-volt plugs, and even a couple of USB ports for phones or tablets. The power and reset switches are clearly labeled. Maintenance is also super easy, which is not always true for portable generators. The oil change port is right in front, the air filter is accessible, and the included toolkit, with a spark plug wrench and screwdriver, covers normal upkeep, I was also pleasantly surprised by how little it smelled when running. Sometimes, with older generators especially, you get that overwhelming gasoline and exhaust smell. The iGen 5000 is designed to keep emissions down, and that helps both for use in campgrounds and general peace of mind about air quality around the house or RV site. From my experience, the weight is manageable. It's not exactly feather-light, but with the combination of telescoping suitcase-style handle and the never-flat wheels, I can move it by myself or with my wife without worrying about injuries or struggling too much. If you're not able to lift heavy equipment, just keep in mind you'll still want a hand or at least a ramp to get it into a taller vehicle. Once on the ground, though, maneuvering isn't a hassle. Some minor issues I ran into. When setting up for the first time, I accidentally tried to start it with the battery not fully charged, so the remote didn't work initially. Had to use the pull starter, which, to be fair, worked on the first pull. For anyone new to generators, just remember to check the battery the first time and make sure you connect it correctly before firing up. I also want to mention the tank size. For me, the 3.4-gallon tank is a good middle ground. On lighter loads, 18 hours is more than enough, but if I had to run heavy loads straight through a multi-day outage, I'd need to plan for refueling. Not a negative, just something to keep in mind depending on what you need. In my opinion, the Westinghouse iGen 5000 strikes exactly the balance I want between quiet operation, stable power for sensitive gear, and enough muscle to handle home or RV needs. I'd recommend this for anyone looking for a serious backup generator that isn't going to drive you crazy with noise or complicated setups. It's perfect for folks in smaller homes, RVers, or even job site users who need portable, reliable power. The included features like remote start, clear LED display, and built-in wheels genuinely make a real difference in everyday use. In conclusion, I didn't think I'd say this about a portable generator, but I actually look forward to using the Westinghouse iGen 5000. It takes away the usual stress and hassle I expect with this kind of product, from setup to day-to-day use. If you're like me and want something quiet, powerful, and really user-friendly, this quick review should help put your mind at ease. I will leave all the information about the Westinghouse iGen 5000 portable inverter generator in the comments. I hope to see you again in the following videos.